Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen, or if you'd like, Super Dave. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining me. Today, we have a full house already. Let's see, who do we have? We have um, 6'10" Yojo Daddy. Good morning, Super Dave. We have Lady Virgo. Cool. Good morning. We have Michael Jean Fleming. Good morning, y'all. Everybody's saying hello to everybody in the chat. Let me see, who else do we have? So there you go. We have a really interesting one. This is going to be a twofer. So we're going to do a 2-pack of Falcon and Quarrel from the Nightforce 138. So we're doing 2 figures in this one, and there's going to be a little bit of history on both of these characters. Not only their classified history, but their actual character history and vintage history. So first, let's get into a little bit of background into not a twofer, yeah, a twofer. We're doing 2 on this one. Funny, Lady Virgo. We got a Falcon quite a while ago. The infamous Falcon. You guys will remember the mutt faced Falcon with that terrible face that everybody hated, and they were very, very upset about it. And they've been begging Classified to do another Falcon since this came out. He looks like, I don't know what he looks like. He looks like a Muppet from like Rankin Bass, or some sort of a puppet or whatever. They switched factories, apparently. They went from Vietnam to Korea, or back. I don't know which way they went, but they went from one factory to another. And this is one of the earlier figures that they did at the new factory. And so they hadn't gotten the finesse of the figures, the face qualities yet at that point. Now, that has not been a problem recently, because the face prints and the face quality of the figures have been phenomenal recently. But this was, I guess, in the, I would say, mid 40s, if I'm not mistaken. And so we've been wanting a new one of this figure for a while. And this was definitely not vintage inspired that well. It's very much classified up. There's a lot more to it than the vintage version. So let's see. Bought 2 to replace Dumbhead Falcon. Love Quarrel. Bought the Battle Action Force Compendium. There you go. Very good. 610 Yojo Daddy. You can't be ugly in G.I. Joe, just short. Krusty O'Crow, that's a funny one. I like that. Yeah, because obviously these are army people. They're not going to be like handsome models and things like that. So yeah, I agree with you, but there's got to be a little bit of kind of respect, in that. Michael Jean Fleming. I use that old Falcon head as a this is the best plastic surgery can do for your given the bone and muscle trauma head for snake eyes. Oh, you use it for the snake eyes when they do the plastic surgery because it's so ugly and he doesn't look like the plastic surgery went that well. That's funny. That's very funny. I hope maybe someday we will get a head like that, but that's very funny. What do they want, Fabio? Yeah, exactly. It doesn't need to be Fabio, as Lady Virgo says, but you want it to look good. You want it to look semi good. But yeah, this was not. People were not happy about mutt-faced Falcon, or now I'm going to start calling him Scar-faced Snake Eyes Falcon, because I like that, actually, that idea, Michael Gene Fleming. So we needed another Falcon, right? And then Hasbro we're trying to get some use out of the new mold, the new Scarlet retro packaged mold. And so it makes sense that you would use the character that was basically an exact duplicate of her from Palatoy from Europe, an international heroes figure, and that's Quarrel. So they reuse that mold for Quarrel. So that's where this two-pack comes from. It's a repurpose of Falcon, a better version, and a repurpose of the Scarlet mold, vintage package, retro package Scarlet mold. So that's where you get this. What adds to this is the fact that they added it to the Nightforce theme. So they added some really cool characters to this Nightforce theme. A lot of characters that were never in Nightforce before. And so we're going to get into it, but I have a little bit of history I got to go into first on Quarrel that I want to talk about. In my Tina Turner voice, we don't need another hero. Mad Max. Very good, Lady Virgo. Cool. All right, so we're going to go into Quarrel's history because we've done Falcon's history already, and I think people are sick and tired of hearing about Falcon, right? So we're going to go into a little bit of Quarrel's history, and this is what 610 Yojo Daddy was talking about earlier. So this is volume 1 of Total Action Force: The Battle Years by Brian Hickey, Patty Lennon, and David McDonald. This was a European book that you had to kickstart, and it's a phenomenal series of books. They're on their 3rd volume of this, about the history of Palatoy, the history of international heroes, and there's so much awesome stuff in this series of books. If you have an opportunity, try to find Patty Lennon or Brian Hickey on socials and go to Total Action Force books or Total Battle books and try to get some of these books. They are fantastic. They're one of the best series of books that we've gotten because it's a foreign version of G.I. Joe, and we don't get a lot of that information. We don't see a lot of that information in the United States. So the folks that are doing these books are really supporting this brand and helping people that can't get all this stuff. At least we have it in book form, and we can talk about it, and we can have a historical aspect of these characters and this version of the character and this part of the brand. Crystal Crow, Falcon was so mad about being made fun of that he came back with a foreign girlfriend and a makeover. Predictable. Yeah, exactly. So this is volume 1. And so I'm going to go into Quarrel's history, a little bit of Quarrel's history on here. So here is the page with Quarrel there, right? It says, name, Hetty Pulver, primary military specialty, commando, secondary military specialty, undercover operations. Quarrel's father was the Swiss ambassador to Japan. Due to his posting, she was raised and educated in Tokyo for 8 years. This led to her taking interest in martial arts, including judo, Kyoto, and Japanese archery. As a hand-to-hand combatant, she has no equal within Z-Force, with even Captain Skip having been taken to the mat by her on a number of occasions. She's also excels in driving particular motorcycles and has competed in professional motorcycle racing. A Man Called Nightmare. So the art on this is by Nigel Gall, and that's it. So then I want to kind of reference what they said about the motorcycles, because she is, hey, Clement, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. What they talk about with her on the motorcycle is because the Palatoy version of the Ram was always driven by Quarrel. You can see there's two pictures, one there of Quarrel with the Ram, and then over there some artwork by photography artwork by Brian Hickey. Trying to get a better view of that piece of artwork. Let's see. How's that? That better for you guys? You see Quarrel on the motorcycle? There you go. So she's very, very familiar with that motorcycle. I'm a little surprised that they put Shockwave with it, but it's fine. We can mix and match and put whoever we want with figures and modularize it and stuff like that. So there's a possibility we can update her and take Shockwave off and put her on the Nightforce Ram, I guess. I think that's what a lot of people have been doing. All right, so now we're going to get into the classified figure. I do not have a vintage Quarrel. That's why I showed her off in the book, because I do not have her. Dude Stuff 2025. Did the classified line make a Globulus yet? No, but it's very highly rumored that that's going to be this year. The fact that we already have the digital render of the Royal Guard, and we're probably going to get that at JoJo G.I. Joe Day in February. We'll probably be getting Globulus with all the bells and whistles sometime in the fall of this year. And then that'll finish off your primary 4 figures for Cobra La. Maybe we may get some Denizens, like a 2-pack of Denizens or something. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. We also got the Once a Man Cobra Commander as well. So we're all caught up in all the Cobra La after Globulus, really. Oh, thanks for the info. You're welcome. So let's go into her. So look at that artwork. You can see that beautiful face paint artwork of Falcon, and then Quarrel looking very serious and ready for action there. So we'll see. And I like that smirk on Falcon's face, like, here you go, you got me again. You know, kind of like that smarmy face that he has. And so on this side, we have the designations, the target artwork, and the QR code. So let's go into the designations and see what these guys have for designations. Falcon has Vanguard. He has the ammunition, which I believe is light weapons. He's got the medic symbol, and then he has the I think the information, the one that's got the information bubble on it. Where is that one? I do not. Linguistics, because of his language skills. And then Quarrel has the covert ops. She's got the 3 arrows, which is, I believe, arrow weapons. She's got martial arts, and she's got the infiltration as well. So there you go. Those are all your designations for Falcon and Quarrel. And then we have the beautiful photography artwork by Shooting the Galaxy, Alex and Mike. Dave, do you like my Jack Skeleton picture? Yeah, I do, actually. I think it's a very cool picture, Jack Skeleton. It makes you very unique, Clement. So I know whenever that pops up that you're in the chat, I don't have to worry about checking your name, because I know that's you. So I like it. Jack Skeleton is really cool. I saw that movie in the theater in the 90s when it first came out, and I loved it. So here's the beautiful photography by Alex and Mike from Shooting the Galaxy, and a couple of call outs, tampos and things like that, and that little computer thing. They're obviously, since it's Nightforce, they're in the cave, they got the Energon behind them, and they're really deep into the SHIT, if you want to use that vernacular. Let's see, what else is back there? I don't see anything else back there, but I really like these figures. They look really cool in the package. So then we get the loadout. There's the front of the package. We got Nightforce. We have Vincent R. Falcone, and then Quarrel. So they don't give Quarrel's name, but they give Vincent R. Falcone's name. And if you remember in Sunbow, he is the brother of Duke. And boy, is he a F up. He's a screw up in the grandest sense. So let's get this open, and we'll see what these figures have. So we have the designations. And this is another Nightforce. So it's a Walmart exclusive again. So all of Nightforce has been Walmart exclusives. So that's going to probably maybe change shortly, I think. There may be one more. I'm not sure after this. But they're going to be changing some of these exclusives up with the different stores. So then you have the stars and stripes in the inside of the package. So we'll put that down there. So, man, they have lots of stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. So because of the question of Falcon, we are going to get Falcon out first to look at him and to see what he looks like and see if that face print matches the other face print or if there's a difference with it. So let me, so his beret fell off. So they didn't make the beret separate. They kept it on. All right. So there you have it. There's Falcon version 1 and there's Falcon version 2. Hold on. I'm going to change this up a little bit. So there's Falcon version 1 and Falcon version 2. There. So they did soften the features. Just by looking at this, I can tell the features were softened up a little bit. And they took some of the makeup off of his lips. They took some of that lipstick off of there. And they gave him a sharper jaw, I would say. Same time, Torres. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Everybody's saying hi in the chat again. Hello, everybody. GI Jetstream. Hey, Jetman, GI Jetman, you're a new person in the chat. Thanks for joining us. We're going over the differences between these Falcons right now. So you can tell the lips were a little bit softened up. The jawline was a little bit sharpened up a little bit. There's a little bit more younger eye deco there. So he looks younger in this particular figure. Clement, you love 1 and 2. Okay. Well, then you're one of the rare people that do, Clement. All right. So then we have the beret comes off. It's a black beret with his indicia. He was I believe, a green beret. Hey, PB1B, 11B. Thanks for joining us. Hello. Good morning. All right. So there's that tampo, that Nightforce tampo there on his left pauldron, shoulder pauldron. Then he has the bullets on the right shoulder pauldron. And then I like the fact that the printing is so good they can actually add hair. So he's got these bare arms, and you can see that hair is on there that is showing up in there. It's very, very cool that they're able to get that printing so good now that you can get hair. So this is a very cool figure with the color deco design. They've got some good breaks with the colors, with the greens, the reds, the browns, the blacks, all Nightforce colors, vintage Nightforce colors, I might add. And they added a little bit of yellow with the tampo and the beret and the bullets. So there's a really nice palette of colors with this figure, and he looks good. I like him a lot. this is obviously a lot of reuse of this figure. He's got the bullet secondary on the left leg. He's got the holster and the cartridge holster secondary on the uh, right leg, and the bullets on the left leg. And then he has the secondary over his chest with the ab crunch there. And then he has the shamak there to go with him. Let's see, what else does he have? He has that watch, that little green watch there on his left wrist. It has a little deco in it. And he's got some green shins there, knee pads. Everybody's saying hi into in the chat. Ho Driver 3, what did I just stumble into? A review of the Nightforce, Quarrel, and version 2 Falcon that we're going over in the history of these two characters. So there you go. There's Falcon, and then we'll get into Quarrel. All right, so we have Quarrel. Now, she's definitely the Scarlet mold, and she has a lot of extra deco on her red and green and black. Very vintage inspired by her deco, I must say, based on what I saw. Probably some of these harnesses are new, like this chest harness is new. The bullet secondary shoulder pauldron on her right is new. And the left one matching the Falcon one with the left Nightforce tampo on there is probably similar to Scarlet. And then she has this little arrow sheath on her right leg and a knife sheath on her left leg there. But it's again a nice balance of color with black and green and red and a little bit of gray. And then she has that serious blonde hair and face print that she looks phenomenal. I love this face print. I think she looks really distinctive. She's not a copy of Scarlet. She's got her own distinct personality with that face, and I think they did a good job with her. Gunpowder, Nitro, what's good all? Listening while I'm at work. That's the best time to listen. Everybody's saying hello in the chat. Hello, Shane Jetson. Okay. So let's get into some of these accessories. So both of these figures, let's get this out of the way. Both of them have different articulation points. So Falcon is obviously has the butterflied shoulders, the double pinned elbows, double pinned knees, the foot rocker, the ankle articulation, the ab, the thigh and calf articulation, the secondary wrist articulation, the crotch leg articulation. He's got the ab crunch underneath the secondary, and he's got the new head rocker articulation. So he's got most of the primary articulation points. He does not have the flexi hand articulation or the secondary wrist. So a lot of the new ones do not have the flexi wrist or the extra wrist articulation. Only a couple of figures have that one thus far. Definitely better than most of the female figures. Yeah, I agree. Same time toys, definitely. So Quarrel has most of the same articulation points as that retro vintage packaged Scarlet. So she's got the butterflied shoulders, she's got the double pinned elbows, the double pinned knees, she's got the foot rocker, she has the secondary ankle, she's got the wrist articulation, and she does not have the secondary wrist articulation. She does have the thigh and calf articulation. She has the crotch and leg articulation and the ab crunch, and she also has the head articulation. So she's got the same articulation as the Falcon in most of the modern figures that we've been getting. Only a couple of them have that weird wrist one and the secondary wrist one, and some of them don't have the secondary ankle articulation either because of the technical design of the figures. Some of them they took that out. In some of the new figures, Lenny said recently in one of the interviews. But I think she's really good. I think Falcon's really good with that. Let's get into some of their equipment. So both of them come with the steel core helmet. They are really using these steel core helmets quite a lot. Excuse that noise, by the way. That's the packaging. I can get it out. They both have the steel core helmets. So we know because we've got the steel core 2-pack, there was a female and a male steel core. So it makes sense that they would redeco this steel core helmet for a male and a female. So both Falcon and Quarrel could get this. And they so we'll put that on them in a little while. So then we have because they're in the night time, they gave Falcon the night goggles, which we've seen 3 or 4 times now. We've seen it, I think, with Tunnel Rat several times. We saw it with Shockwave and a couple other people. So that's really cool that they gave Falcon that because of the fact that he's at night, he's in those caves, and he's looking at Energon. And then we have Falcon's shotgun again. They redecoed it slightly different. They gave him that little thing that can maneuver and he can adjust with his gun, and it has the gold bullets in there. You can see those gold bullets and a little bit of the red deco on both sides. So they redeco this slightly different. And then he's got this is really funny because whenever I see this gun, I always think of Hardball, because this is Hardball's gun. It's that baseball grenade launcher gun, but we've never gotten Hardball. We have all the parts to make a Hardball. We have a hat. We have a jersey buck for the chest with Big Lob, Bazooka, and I think somebody else has that. And we have plenty of fatigued bodies with boots. All they have to do is change the color of the skin and give them a new head. So I don't know why we haven't gotten a Hardball. That's an easy figure to make, but they haven't done it. But that's his weapon right there. And then we have Falcon's backpack, and it's the same backpack that he had with the previous one. Most of these accessories are going to be the same. The only difference is it's redecoed. This one's black and army drab and stuff like that, and that's it. Whereas the other one was more of a marine green with black deco, so it got reversed. They reversed the deco on his backpack. So there you go. Then we have another gun. Boy, they gave these guys a lot of weapons to fight these mole rats or whoever else. And it's that Gatling gun there with the gold bullets and that cartridge underneath. And I always like these because there's so much detail in these guns that I really, really like them. A lot of these guns have a lot of detail. This Gatling gun, look at all the detail that's in that. That is really good. It's 3D. This little thing inside there moves around and everything. So it's like they really went to the trouble to make this stuff as real as possible with it. It's really nice. Let's see, what else? So now we're going to get into Quarrels. So Quarrel just gets an M16 over here. Just your basic M16 that they used in the 80s and all those army movies. Pretty good. Nothing fancy, but still pretty good. We have, because Falcon's backpack, he has these little flashlight things that are supposed to go in there, I believe. Let's see if that's on there. No, I guess it's not on his. Where do these flashlights go? Yeah, he does not have the Outback or the Tunnel Rat backpack. So the flashlights, I'm not entirely sure where they're going to go. I guess they're going to just hold them in their hands. These 2 little flashlights. I'm not sure. So we got 2 little flashlights. They have little red deco on them for the light. So we'll put them there for now. Then we have a revolver. We've seen this revolver a bunch of times, and it has the clip already in it. So we'll put that into one of the figures. And then we have several knives, like 3 different knives. Boy, they really gave these guys an armory. So the first knife is an all black little teeny knife there, all black. There. And then we have this little teeny Bowie knife with a bit of silver deco there, a little Bowie knife. And then we have this bigger serrated knife with some silver deco as well. There. Let's see. Let's see. Woody can only listen in today. Hello, SD, and what's up, chat? Hey, Woody, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you listening. There's a belt loop for the flashlights. There's a belt loop. Okay, I'll look for that. Thank you, Woody. Either in the hand or in the box. Yep. All right, so then we get to some of Quarrel's stuff. She has a revolver as well. That's a 45 revolver there. Then we have her crossbow, which is, I think it's Scarlett's crossbow, and I think it might be the one that Beachhead had. Now, this crossbow's gotten a lot of reuse. I think they've used it on 3 or 4 figures, and it makes sense that Quarrel would have it because she's an expert marksman in that field. But the problem with these things, they always come off, and I have a hard time getting them on there. So let's see if I can put this back in there without it falling out. Goes like that. There you go. So let's hope it doesn't come out because all the previous ones have fallen off. So I wasn't happy about that. But that's for Quarrel. Then we have a whole bunch of arrows. Let's see if we can get all these arrows out of here. All right, so we have 4 arrows, and she's got the sheath that they can go in on her side. So we'll try to get them all in there. If I can get them out of the package. Got 2. 3 and 4. And now these arrows, we've seen these arrows used a couple times. They're all different tips and stuff like that. Like, see, that one's like a weird little circular tip. It's got a different tip on it. So all the tips are slightly different tips. So that's cool that they went to that detail with the arrows. And then she's got 2 additional fists for punching because she's also a martial arts expert. So Quarrel has a lot of unique attributes that I like. So there you go. 2 new fists. So put them there. So that does it, I think, for all the accessories for all these figures. So we're going to put that over there, and we're going to start putting these figures together. Let's see. So Woody says that the flashlights go on the belts. Oh, there's a belt loop there on the back of Falcon there. Okay, so we'll put one of those flashlights in there. I hope it goes in there. We'll see. That loop is a little tight. I don't know if that is gonna work. I'll fiddle with it a little bit more. We'll see if we can get it in there, but it's a little too tight. It's a little too tight, that loop. Yeah, I can't get that in there, Woody. So we'll move on from that. Let's see if Quarrel has it. Quarrel has no, she doesn't have it either. She's got a knife sheath, so we'll put one of the knives in her sheath on her left leg. There. Put one of the knives in there, and then we have the arrow quiver on her side here. So we'll put a bunch of the arrows in there. Okay, I might have to heat it. Let's see. They did more for Scarlet's Quarrel's arrows than they did for Hawkeye in Marvel Legends. Yeah, I don't know what it is with Marvel Legends. They don't give them a lot of accessories nowadays. Christian Crow. I don't know what the problem is with them, but yeah, you're right about that. I don't know what what the reasoning behind that is. Maybe it's budgetary and they have to do more costing for that because of the fact that it's a licensed brand from another company. Whereas G.I. Joe, they can make it a little bit cheaper because they own that brand. Um, that's just my thought on that. I don't know if that's 100%. You need to talk to somebody with Hasbro to find that out a little bit more. They might have a better uh, knowledge of it, but I agree with you that the they don't give the Marvel Legends as many accessories as they give the classified. There's no doubt in my mind on that. All right, so we got all the arrows in her quiver, and we got that knife on her there. License fees is why Marvel Legends don't get a lot. Yep, that's exactly right. All right, so let's see what else can we do with these guys. We'll give her her crossbow because that seems like the appropriate thing for her to have because she's got the arrows in one sheath there. What else can we give her? She does not have a spot for a revolver, so maybe I'll put her revolver in her other hand there. So she has her arrows. Oh, and that's I found out the Bowie knife. The Bowie knife goes in that little sheath there on her secondary. So I'll put that up in there. There. And I'll give her the revolver in her other hand, her left hand. There. So I think she does not have a backpack. So she's going to just be like that. And she looks pretty good. I think they did a really good job with this balancing this out because there's the red belt that's there underneath that secondary harness that goes around her waist. There's these red pouches, that sheath for that Bowie knife, the knife sheath there, and the green is obviously a leotard underneath all this. And then she has that black second uh, leotard outfit over it, and then some armor parts with black and green, and she's got the throwing stars on there on her arm, kind of like Scarlet, because this is obviously Scarlet's vintage retro packaged mold, and then she's got the golden bullets there. Obviously, she's going to use that for her revolver that I gave her. So I think she's going to be as good as I'm going to be able to get her right now. So let's see what we can do with Falcon, and we'll put a bunch of this stuff on Falcon. Let's see. First, we're going to stick with his backpack. This is backpack, and then so a lot of their gear is in Falcon's backpack apparently, and then he's got this big sheath serrated knife. We're going to stick that in his backpack there. There. We're going to put his beret back on, which which gun should I give him? I'm thinking about giving him a different gun because I got him with his traditional gun, so I don't want to give him the same gun. Maybe I'll give him the M16. What do you guys think about that? Giving him that, and then we'll put that in his right arm there, and then maybe. I've never had that happen before, but the shoulder pauldron slipped off. I've never had that happen in the figures with the shoulder pauldrons before. What else do you guys want me to give him? I can give him this Gatling gun. Hard Hardball's Gatling gun, because he's going to be fighting a lot of, I would guess, the Mole Rats and Mole Rats Stage 2s he's going to be fighting. So we're going to need some heavy artillery to get rid of those guys. So we'll give him that. And I think I'm going to keep his goggles off. And so he also has a sheath here on his right leg. So I'm going to put that revolver there in that one. There. Let's see. What else do we have? I think that does it for these guys. But there's a lot of extra accessories here with these guys. How does he look? Does he look like he can take on a squad of these guys? The Mole Rats and Mole Rats Stage 2s out in the Energon tunnels. License fees is why Marvel Legends don't get a lot. Yep, you're correct. You're correct about that, Woody. Definitely correct. So he also has a nice balance. He's got that copper or bronzish deco on those bullets. He's got some green stripes on his shoulder pauldrons to give that color separation. He's got the antenna there. He's got a little bit of red in the bullets that are right there, in that red bullets. And he's got a little yellow and red in his beret, green beret symbol there. So it kind of gives a little balance with all this color. I think they're really doing a much better job balancing these colors out and giving these characters a little bit of characterization with the colors. It kind of gives an idea of what they're doing and where they're at and how they're attacking their challenges with this. But overall, I think these two figures together are very nice balance, and they really did a good job balancing them out, where he's got more brown, she's got more green, but they both have like grays and blacks and reds, and they do match quite a lot. But Quarrel does really stick out as very vintage inspired, whereas Falcon is a little bit upgraded since we got that other figure. We needed a new upgraded one. So do you guys think we'll get another Falcon? Do you think we'll ever get the version 2 Falcon? Because this Nightforce one really is an upgrade from the vintage one. I should have gotten my vintage one out to show, but I didn't think about it. So there you go. And I got a couple of stands over here. We'll put them on and we'll get them ready. So there's Quarrel on her stand. So she's ready for action. And then we will do Falcon with his stand. So who do we got left? What do we got left for Nightforce? We got quite a lot of Nightforce still from the vintage line that has yet to come out. We haven't got Repeater. We haven't gotten Psych Out. We haven't gotten. Who else am I missing? We got Falcon now. Oh, Outback, Nightforce Outback, we haven't gotten. That's an overdue figure. I thought for sure we would have gotten an Outback sooner than later, but we have not, and that's weird that we haven't gotten that. So there is a lot of accessories here left over for these guys. Obviously, the fists, we can't use all the fists, and the flashlights, I'll have to figure out why they included those flashlights, but they're fine. So what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get Outback? Do you think we'll get Repeater, Psych Out? Who else is in Nightforce that I'm missing? There was some modern figures that were in Nightforce, I think, as well. We have another 2-pack coming in a little while, and it'll be another character with an updated version and another character. So that's coming. So we will get 2 more Nightforce there. But what other things do you think we could get for Nightforce? What other characters do you think we should get for Nightforce? Do you think we should get new characters like they did with Quarrel and this character that's coming in the next 2-pack upgraded, and some of these other characters that were never in Nightforce to my knowledge, like Big Ben, was he in there? Parth Varma is a completely new character. Obviously, Shooter was in the 50th anniversary Nightforce, but there's still a lot of Nightforce characters. Also, this sneak peek, we haven't gotten him. Who else is in Nightforce that I'm missing? There's a lot of Nightforce characters that are still out there that we could get. But they're going to give us a little reuse here and there in between new and in between redecos and stuff. So we'll have to wait and see how that balances with the line. And another thing is with Quarrel, she's our second Palatoy inspired figure. We got Outback Tiger Force, which is a very heavy decoed Tiger Force Outback from Palatoy in Europe. And then now Quarrel as an international figure is our next one. Do you think we'll get more international figures? And there were several interviews conducted at the Brazil CCXP a couple weeks back in December that Emily said that the fact that they are doing a lot of these international shows, they want to do more international figures since they've already done a few. One of them we haven't covered yet. We will be covering it very shortly, but we still have some time to go before we get to that character. But that'll be our third one international character, and I would like to get some more, unless you include Big Ben. That's different. He was an actual Joe character. What's up, Woody? 610-year Joe Daddy. So there's a lot of interesting things we could ask ourselves when it comes to this line, what the future could bring. Would you guys like to get more international characters and figures? And do you want more Nightforce, and which Nightforce characters? Because it really can be anybody could be a Nightforce based on the pattern that they've done thus far. So let me know in the chat what you guys think, and I'll try to answer those questions for you. I do want to cover one thing. If you are in the Florida area and you would like to go to a G.I. Joe themed convention event, we have an event coming up. It's going to be April 19th. It's called the Senflow Joe Show, and it is my convention, and I'm going to be doing it. And our primary guest is Mark Pennington, who is one of the designers at Hasbro on the G.I. Joe brand from 87 to 89. He's also a comic book artist. He worked on The Path for CrossGen, and he's done a lot of other stuff. He's also done some museum art shows, and he does a lot of commissions and things like that in commercial art. He's a phenomenal guy, very friendly guy, very outgoing, and he does some beautiful sketches. So you can get some sketches while you are at the show with him. So all the information is here. It's Sunday, April 19th, 2026, at the center at Deltona, Florida. Our email address, if you want a vendor space, or if you want to come as just a guest or something like that, you can email me at senflojoeshow.com, CENFLOJOESHOW. And it is in Deltona, Florida, at the center. What else? And it's the our email is sendflowjoeshow@yahoo.com. So there you go. And it's very accessible from the highway, so you don't have to travel far. There's lots of restaurants around the event center where this is, and we'll also have food trucks. And we've got a lineup of guests. Not allowed to tell all the guests right now, but we're gonna have I'm hoping a couple more Hasbro people from the brand team in the 80s that'll also be at the show. And we'll have a lot of really cool vendors, a lot of other guests. Rising Sun Publishing will be there. LaCroix Toys will be there. Um, After Action Report will be there. Joe Fest will have a booth there. I will have my own booth. Who else? We got a couple other guests. Jason Mark Sobel will be there. Adam Riches will be there, who's a designer and comic book artist and has worked on packaging for Super 7 and Hasbro. He will be there. I'm trying to think of who else is going to be there. The other Hasbro people I can't say yet. I have to make sure that all the legal and all the important stuff is out of the way before I can announce them. But so that's going to be a great show. Anybody that's in the South Georgia area, South Alabama area, all of Florida that would like to go, April 19th of this year, 2026. It's something that I've been working on for a few years now, and I hope it's successful. I need as many people to go to the show so we can do another one and broaden it and maybe make it 2 days and really make a really cool G.I. Joe event out of it. So this is the first one we're doing, so we had to start someplace. So we started kind of small, and we're trying to do our best. So I appreciate all the support that I can get. If you guys want to also advertise and let people know about the show, share our socials whenever we put them out there on the G.I. Joe groups, spread them wide as much as possible so we can get as much attendance as we can to make the show successful. We have a budget. We're in our budget, and we're doing very well on our budget, but we don't want to break our budget because then it affects the overall success of the show. So we're staying within our budget. And then Joe Fest. Joe Fest 2026 is the 23rd through the 25th of June in Augusta, Georgia. They announced another great guest, Dan Gilvezan, who is the voice of Bumblebee and Transformers, Spider-Man, and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And he did one of the G.I. Joe characters, the Slipstream, who is, I think, the pilot of the Conquest XP driver. He was the voice of Conquest, of Slipstream from G.I. Joe. And he's done lots of other voices and characters. He's going to be a guest, along with, of course, Larry Hama, Sergeant Slaughter, and Lisa Raggio, the voice of Zarana. So that is shaping up to be an incredible show there as well. And we also have several vendors that have been announced. The animals of the something, I can't think of the name of them. Maybe you guys in the chat can think of the name of that animals toy group. I can't think of their name right off the bat, but they're going to be there. Of course, Skeletron, Marauders, Gridiron. I believe Gridiron will be there this year. Super 7 will be there this year. So it's going to be a really nice show. So I look forward to seeing a lot of you guys at the show at Joe Fest. And if you're able to come to my show for a day and come on a vacation in the spring for spring break in April and come to my show while you're down here and say hello. I would love to meet you all and hang out with you guys and talk with you. It is 3 weeks after Easter. So Easter, I believe, is early April. Our show is 3 weeks after that. So we made sure that it didn't interfere with Easter. It is the same weekend as the Alabama convention. So hopefully that's far enough away that it doesn't interfere with our show. So one of our vendors is going there, Irving Santiago, which I was sad about. Valaverse, no, no Valaverse at Joe Fest this year. Sorry. He does DFW a lot now. PB 11B. He does DFW show. Animals of the Warrior Kingdom. That's it. That's right. 610 Yojo Daddy. I just couldn't think of the name of them. They're going to be there. And we had a whole bunch of other ones. They haven't been announced for this year, but we had Big Bad Toy Store last year. We had Delta 17 there last year. We had some third-party companies that do the Skyhawk and a lot of those vehicles. What is the name of that group? They did the Tiger Hawk one, and I cannot think of the name of them either. I'm having a hard time remembering all these third-party organizations. But they did some fantastic exclusives to Joe Fest last year. And there's going to be a lot of Joe Fest exclusive this year, too. Fans Hobby, that's it, VP. Thank you very much. So they're going to be there probably again this year. And then I will be there as the voice of Joe Fest. Attention, all vendors, patrons, and guests. If you are not at Joe Fest this year, you will be missing a lot of exciting stuff. So make sure you're there. So you will hear me as the voice of Joe Fest. So hashtag the voice of Joe Fest. So I look forward to really having, hanging out with you guys, going out drinking afterwards, going to restaurants, eating with you guys, and just talking G.I. Joe and just having a ball because you guys are the bomb, pun intended. But I love you all. Gadsden Collector Con, January 17th in Gadsden, Alabama, is going to be a 70-plus booth con. Hey, there you go. Another one in Alabama. So Alabama is a little bit outside my frame of reaching. I can do a lot of stuff in Georgia, and I can go to like Pensacon, which is like 7.5 hours to the west that way, and then everything in Florida. But one of these days, maybe if I get independently wealthy and I can travel more, maybe I'll go do some of those Alabama shows, and maybe they would invite me as a podcaster guest. Sometimes we do have podcast guests at Joe Fest. We've got Dan from not Shooting the Galaxy. What's Dan Larson from something Galaxy? I can't think of the name of it. I can. You wish you can be there. Clement from South Africa. That would be a little bit of a trip trying to come from South Africa. I wish you could as well. 610 Howdy Partners. And then we've had Pixel Dan there. We've had What's on Joe Mind. We have Toy Kind of Mood we've had there. We've had Punk with Toys, Tony's Figs, of course, myself. Who else have we had? We've had tons of people, podcasters that cover Joe Fest for the fan base that have been there. I think we had the Circle of Jerks. A bunch of those guys have been there. Boldilocks has been to Joe Fest. He was there last year. I'm trying to think of all the other podcasters that I watch. Well, this year we're going to have Woody. Woody's going to be there, and 610 Yojo Daddy will be there. So we'll have some other podcasters, new podcasters there this year. But it's going to be incredible. I really, really look forward to hanging out with you guys and spending some time talking about this stuff and having a good time. So it's going to be 3 full days. Joe Fest is all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and we have all kinds of extra events. We have a trivia contest that's going to be going on Thursday night. After we let the load in come on Thursday, we'll have some events on Thursday night, and we're working on a really awesome event. I hope it turns out the way that we want it. If we do, we might have a little bit of music. That's all I can say. Um, yes, I can get you VIP if you ever decide to come to Gadsden, Dave. Oh, thank you very much. 610 Yojo Daddy. I would love to go to Alabama sometime for one of those shows. Thank you. Gunpowder Nitro. Are they usually good deals? Are there are these shows gun shows? Not too much. I honestly think they mark the merch up just for the show. Well, the good thing about Joe Fest, and I will really emphasize this very strongly, Gunpowder Nitro, our booths are very reasonable and we do not overprice. And our ticket prices are very low as well because we want people to come and buy. So we want the vendors to have low prices so the people can come in and buy, and we make our tickets low so they can get in and buy merchandise. We've got a formula that works on all levels. The vendor gets money, the patrons get money, we get money, everybody has a good time, and you can find lots of awesome merch there because it is all kinds of stuff, all kinds. Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, Transformers, G.I. Joe. It's called Joe Fest, but it's all vintage brands, Star Wars, Marvel Legends, DC, McFarlane, you name it, and all those vendors, those companies as well. Great deals at cons usually. Gunpowder, wheeling and dealing. Yeah, you could do some wheeling and dealing, definitely. I've done it myself. Come over to South Africa. I would love to travel and do shows. I think there is a show in South Africa. A friend of mine that does a Thundercats podcast. I'm trying to think of his name. There's a show, there's a convention over there, Clement. Let me see if I can figure out what it is, and then I'll let you know. But there is a convention over there in South Africa for you to go to. I don't know how big it is, but there is a convention. And I can't remember my friend's name that does the Thundercats podcast. He's got a unique name, and he does a great job on Thundercats and Silverhawks and that type of arena of toys. But so hopefully that you guys will be able to go to both shows, the Senflo Joe show in April 19th, my show, and then Joe Fest on June 23rd through the 25th this year. So both of those shows are G.I. Joe centric vintage toy shows. So, all right. I think I've rambled on enough for this one. So our next figure is a figure I've been waiting for a long time to come to Classified. It's one of my favorite characters in Larry Hama's comics around the 60s era. And so I've been waiting for them to get to this character. And the version of this character that they did is like stellar. It's such an upgrade from the vintage one. Even though I love the vintage one, it's very fun. This Classified one is like a 10, 100 step upgrade to that, and I can't wait to get into him and open him up and really get into talking about this character and his history and his background. So that is going to be number 139, and that is our next review, probably be tomorrow. And then we have some 60th anniversary, some redecos, and then some other really awesome stuff after that. So I look forward to seeing you guys in those episodes. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for contributing, adding to the conversation, and giving me questions and things to talk about, because you guys are the reason why I do this. Without you guys, it'd be quite boring to hear me talk all day long. So I appreciate all the new folks joining. Make sure you hit uh, um, that like and subscribe and notifications to get notified for upcoming videos. I typically go with my videos from about 9:30 to 11 o'clock. Um, Most days. I do once in a while do an afternoon episode that's around 7 o'clock. Very seldom, not that often, but once in a great while. If I do like anniversaries or I'll do my comic bursts, they're usually in the afternoons. And I'm gonna try and get some of you guys as guests on episodes coming up. I would like to get Lone Dragon. I would like to get Hondo. I would like to get some of you guys else. We've had Woody. We've had 610 Yojo Daddy. You guys can go back in the library and watch those episodes. And I would like to do more with those guys as well. Who else have I wanted to have? Crusty Old Crow, I would like to have as well. So Lone Dragon, Crusty Old Crow, Hondo, I would like to get all you guys up in here. And Michael Gene Fleming, I think would be a fun guy to have in here. He's very knowledgeable, very smart as well. So all you guys are wonderful. And I appreciate you all coming and watching and getting involved. So also, I want to say thank you to everybody after the fact on the replay crew, hashtag replay crew in the house. Coming in, commenting, and joining us that way as well. It all counts. Trying to help that algorithm and get the channel to grow. I'm not trying to go crazy. I would like to get to a nice round 1,000. I think that would be perfectly fine for this community and everybody here, so we can talk to everybody and I can comment on all their responses and get all their comments back to me. If it's too many, it's hard to keep track of. I'm in Punk's chat a lot, and he's got like thousands of people in his chat, and I don't know how he keeps up with it. It's very difficult. So mad props to Punk with toys on Monday nights. He's a phenomenal guy. If you can't join him on Monday nights, he's got like a 3-hour podcast every Monday. He does a really good job. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. So thank you. This is a Nightforce G.I. Joe, big G.I. Joe episode. So we're going to go with Yo Joe. Thanks a lot. We'll see you guys in the next one.